Take it away.
Oh.
I don't want to give anything away, otherwise.
Oh, I didn't realize we were starting. We were the first ones to start. Okay.
Well, I want to get the best of the way first.
Oh, cool. Why? Sorry. This is great. What a shot. All of a sudden I'm up. So, we made it back from Laos, as you can tell. I'm just going to set this up and let it stand for a minute. But this was an interesting year for us. How many of you saw my presentation last time I was here? About half of you. Okay, so I'm going to do a little review video of what we actually do in Laos. Okay, and this will explain it all to you. But and then what I'll do is I'll give you an overview of what we managed to accomplish this year with your support. But so let's start with this one.
You'll need to turn that light off then.
Everybody go.
Yeah, the speakers aren't very good on this. So it might be loud enough for some.
Hello, I'm Steve Rutledge, president of Adopt a Village in Laos. Right now I'm here in Nong Pia. You'll see that in behind me. It's about 3 hours north of the heritage city of Luang Prabang. Laos is among the most impoverished nations on earth. Most of the population suffers from lack of clean water, hygiene, and education. During the Vietnam War of the late 1960s and early 70s, Laos became the most heavily bombed country in the world, caused by a secret CIA-backed initiative dropping bombs on an average of 1 plane load every 8 minutes for 9 years. While 80% of the country is mountainous and over 9 million unexploded ordnance still remaining in its soil, it has never been able to recover. To assist with the continued rebuilding of the country, our focus is to provide infrastructure to the rural villages with a permanent water supply for those without. While water is critical, water filtration and hygiene training for every family is just as important. Without clean water, sickness in the village is commonplace and expensive for the villagers. Just one $75 water filter, easily serving a family of 6, will result in an incredible positive change in the health of the family. To date, thousands of villagers now enjoy fresh, clean water thanks to you. It doesn't stop there. Adopt a Village in Laos also funds the construction of schools and school toilets where none exist, or the current infrastructure is insufficient for learning, and providing support for students who cannot afford to go to school, and to provide critical water filtration to these families, along with basic hygiene training.
My name is Sipan Pantabo. I'm field coordinator for Adopt a Village in Laos. I was born in Hayong Village. Hayong Village is 85 families. So this village, they have 2 immigrants live together, like monks and Khmer. So most of them work in the fields during these times. And during the day, the kids, they go to school. After they break school, they go to find food to eat. And their mother and their parents gone to work in the field. So I used to stay in this village so many years. That means I grew up in this village. And then I moved to study in Nong Pia around 4, 5, 6 years. After that, I finished high school, go down to Luang Prabang to study in college for 5 years. And then I met Steve in Hayong, the village I was born. So almost 5 years already I met Steve there. And now I work with him almost 3 years. My job with Adopt a Village in Laos is looking for materials, bargain the price, purchase and organize the deliveries. I do the contracts and also distribute materials, translation, and do many other things. I chose this job because I love to help the rural village. For me, it changed my life. I'm healthy. I am able to help my mom, my dad, and my brothers. The villagers very happy to receive our support. on behalf of the rural villages of Laos, thank you so much from the heart.
That's his farm, by the way.
With the kind and generous support of so many of you, we've already seen positive differences in the space for the rural villagers of Laos. We hope that these images you are seeing will give you some perspective into the village life of Laos and an idea of what it means to these respectful people to receive your support. With your donation, we can make a huge difference by providing longer, healthier, happier lives. Let's keep the momentum going. Come China.
So that's just a quick 5-minute overview of what we do. If I tried to say that, then, sorry, it's the other one. If I tried to say that myself, it would take me 20 minutes just to say that. Mind you, it took me an hour and a half to get 2 minutes out, so. And I'm sitting on this 3-legged chair trying to balance myself on the side of that hill there. So I'm gonna just,
Is the volume on the
I'm
computer
gonna double check that,
being
because it's really soft.
there?
Ah.
Oh, God.
I was wondering why it was so soft. So at any rate, just as a quick review, it is one of the reasons we're there, in fact the main reason we're there, it is the most heavily bombed country in the world. There's millions of bombs, 9 million of them still sitting in the soils. So they have a really tough time doing any sort of infrastructure. They have a tough time getting water because they have to be careful where they go. And this was all caused by during the Vietnam War, by the CIA. It was a secret initiative. So you can imagine how difficult that would have been for them to try and survive that. I mean, a little wee country that's completely surrounded by other countries, they have no access to the ocean. Are they going to say no to Vietnam when Vietnam says, oh, we're coming through with our bombs to try and bomb South Vietnam? Well, of course, Laos couldn't say no. They're just a little wee country. And China's to the north of them. So they, what could they say? So at any rate, the CIA started bombing them. So they lost one-third of their population. They lived in caves for 9 years. Hello. Hello. So, I'm going to show you now, I'm going to show you another quick, there's a couple chairs up here, and I don't bite. So there's, I'm going to show you one. It was your team that sponsored these 2 people last year. They helped in the sponsorship. I'm going to show you the student first, the university student. He's absolutely thrilled to have a sponsorship. He was as nervous as I was in front of the camera. I'm terrible in front of the camera, so he was really nervous about it. He sat, so I put him in my house behind the camera, and I told him I wasn't going to edit it, so it would become more natural, so you got to know him a little bit. He laughs at the most odd place in there, and it was just because he was nervous. He wasn't sure that he should say that on film for whatever reason. So at any rate, there was nothing wrong with it. It just that was him. So
Steve and I, we run this project, so this organization for 5 years.
oh, sorry.
Hi.
I'll pause it.
And now just to give you an idea, when he mentioned so many bombs still remain in the country, because of the funding, they don't have to support on its own as a country to remove bombs. So UK, Australia, and also one of the biggest help just from recent years, the last couple of years, is from Japan, helping them to remove the bombs and educate the younger people what to do if they see bombs right in front of them. Because the third school that we built a few years back, 2 acres of forest by the villages, they found 50 over bombs, and that is the less bomb area. Yeah, that we are into.
But the United States just this year gave them, so this year, I guess last year now, $9 million. That's not very much. Canada gave them $1 million, and it wasn't even, they had nothing to do with it. So, the Canadians are very generous souls, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to go right on to Udon. You want to push the lights?
Sabadi, I am Udon Sivachana. am 21.
I have construction at my house there.
Now I am studying in university in Luang Prabang. I have the 14 subjects. 14 subjects. I have Lao mathematics and Lao grammar and English. I have 6 A plus. I have 2 B.
He also has 6 straight A's as well. 6
I
A's, 6 A plus.
and I like the sport. I like the sport. I like ration ball. I like ration ball. And
Tell us about your family.
and my family, I have 8 people, 8 people. I have 1 brother, no, 2 brother, 2 older brother, 2 younger sister, 2 younger brother, and my mom. And my father died last month. He died last month. Now I'm very happy for your sponsorship, me. And my family are very happy for your sponsor us. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
It's fun to watch him. Now, he struggles just like I do, so in front of the camera. So, at any rate, that's Udon. Last year, at this time, I couldn't hold a conversation with him. He just didn't know enough English, and I certainly didn't know enough Lao. It was rather funny to try and communicate with each other. So, there's a lot of hand signals.
Most of the languages or most of the subjects is studied in Laos, so English is a very difficult language for them to learn. And a lot of the words that they use in their own Lao language, they don't have S, they don't
Hello, sir.
They don't use their tongue that way. Same as us, if we're going to speak their language, our pronunciation will be totally off. Yeah.
So this is the school teacher that you helped to sponsor last year. After they graduate from university, he took a 5-year university course, learned English. It's not like our English. It's quite a bit different, but you can still understand him, and that's the main thing. Camdy, the first 2 years of his education, his teaching, they don't get paid, and so we sponsor the apprenticeship portion of that. And so with your help, this is ending the first year of sponsorship.
Abadi, I am Kamdi Sivachana. I am 24 years old. I'm from the Hachan village. I returned to Luang Prabang. Before I studied at the university. I graduate, and then I returned to the Pakchi village. I to teach there, the small village, and I have the 128 students. And our last month, our school they have the sport team to complete competition at the old Noise. And we win 2 sports of the volleyball, lady and gentleman. Okay?
You thought I was going to cut that.
Okay, and I stay at the small hut in the Pakchi village, and I have a small hut, and every day I fishing at the U River and for the meal. Yes, and I talking about my family life. My family life, I have the 8 people. My family, I have 8 people, and I have the three younger brother and two younger sister, one older brother. And my mom, my dad is he is passes away last month on the 30th January. Okay. Right now, I very thank you for your sponsorship me. Okay. If you wouldn't have the sponsorship, I won't teaching, won't get the graduate. Okay. And thank you very much. ขอบใจหลายๆ
Okay, so those are the three videos I wanted you to see. It's rather interesting to see. They're just like you and me. You know, there's a lot of similarities between the way we think, the way we walk. You know, we still get dressed the same way in the morning. So I'm going to go into a slideshow now.
But we don't eat the same food.
Yeah.
These people, they basically grew up from the forest. I call them jungle people. Most of them in the city. Now this city, there's no traffic lights, and it will never will because it's a UNESCO heritage site, as in a couple of years ago. So they still have their own background knowledge learned from their parents or grandparents, that how they eat their food. And trust me, there's not much hygiene going on when they eat. And they eat anything that moves. Yeah. You will see some of the pictures here.
Yeah, so, you know, this is just giving you some of the special shots, just our special pictures. We take about 1,500 to 2,000 a year for all the projects. This was our busiest year we've ever had. We did a full school edition. We did 4, 6, 7 banks of toilets. We did 21 more houses with solar panels, 19 kids going to primary school, secondary, and university, a teacher. What else did we do? Oh, 2 huge water projects, and I'll get into one of the water projects shortly. But I just wanted to give you some of the images of how these people live. And that's a typical village scene that you see.
And these are not the poor village.
That's a poor village.
They are considered poor village. You only see huts and houses like that. And
That's Camdi. That's his hut where he lives, at the village where he teaches.
This is in the city, local market, and
it stinks to high heaven. It's
it is
awful.
now.
Yeah.
Only local will buy from the vendors, and you will see
Rats, anyone?
this is in the city, right? So you can imagine
Look at the flies.
So you can imagine when they're in the forest, when they live in the forest, that's where they grew up, or high on a mountain. You can imagine the standard of hygiene.
So this is just like marshmallows on a stick, I guess.
This is during morning, and this is one of the animals that got sacrificed for the celebration.
Yeah, so these are birds.
They're